Good morning, dears. And in the last class, we have discussed about spherical lenses, right? So, we have to complete this chapter before your periodic test, right? So that we can go some little more faster, right? Okay. So, now we have to learn or we have to study about the image formation by lenses, right? So in the textbook it is given activity 10.12 and 10.13. These are about the image formation by lenses, right? So before doing that activity, we have to look into the ray diagrams or the image formation in lenses using ray diagrams. After studying these ray diagrams, you will be more clear about this image formation. Okay. So first of all, we can study the image formation. Image formation in lenses using in lenses using ray diagram. Okay, so like that of ray diagrams in the case of what mirrors, we have to consider some rules. Okay, so first of all we can look into that rules when we are talking about ray diagrams, or we have to draw the ray diagram, and we have to consider the following rules, right? So first one, the ray of light from the object parallel to the principal axis after refraction from a convex lens passes through the principal focus on the other side of the lens. Okay, so in the case of a convex lens, what happens when this is the principal axis, right? This is the center of optical center, right? So when a light ray passes parallel to the principal axis, what happens after refraction? It will passes through the principal focus of the other side. That means this is the other side, the spherical surface, right? So this is F2 and here will be F1. Okay, so the refracted ray, when the incident ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction passes through the principal focus on the other side of the lens, right? So that is in the case of convex lens. But in the case of concave lens, what happens? This is the principal axis and this is the center. So when a light ray passes parallel to the principal axis after refraction, it diverges, right? And it meets where the principal focus on the same side, right? So we know these rays are diverging from a point, right? So actually these rays, what when we extrapolate in the back side, it will meet in where the principal focus, right? So they are virtually made to converge from this principal focus, right? So this is what in the case of concave mirrors. Okay, so that is the when the light ray pass parallel to the principal axis, it will passes through the principal focus. So in the case of concave lens, it is on the same side, and in the case of convex, it is on the other side. Okay, so that is the first thing or first rule. Okay, so in the textbooks it is given, the figures also given in your textbook. So once again read that: a ray of light from the object parallel to the principal axis after refraction from a convex lens, what happens? It passes through the principal focus on the other side of the lens. Okay, as shown in the figure, that is figure 10.13a. Okay. In the case of a concave lens, the ray appears to diverge from the principal focus located on the same side of the lens as shown in figure 10.30b. Okay, so this is the first rule. As in the case of spherical mirrors, it is also same, right? Okay, so that is the first one. And what is the second one? A ray of light passing through the principal focus after refraction from a convex lens will emerge parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so in the case of what? In the case of a spherical mirror, what happens? This is the principal axis, this is the pole, and suppose this is a convex lens, then the light ray parallel to the principal axis, it will what? Like this. It will reflect like this. That is from it diverging from F. And also, what happens when a light ray incident through the principal focus? That is, after refraction, it will pass like this. That is, pass parallel to the principal axis. Okay. So in the case of lenses also, what happens? When a light passing through the principal focus after refraction from the convex lens, which emerge parallel to the principal axis. So we can see here, this is F1 and this is the incident ray. Okay, so we can extend the lens. Okay, so this is the incident ray, and after refraction it will emerge like this. Okay, so that is parallel to the principal axis, right? So this is in the case of what? Convex lens. And in the case of concave lens, what happens? So here is also F2, right? So suppose we can also extend this mirror also, this lens also. Okay, so here the F2. So we have to, or we can see from here also, right? So in the case, if the light ray hit like this, or if the light ray incident like this, then what happens? After refraction it will pass like this. That means parallel to the principal axis, right? And if in the case of this, that is, if the incident ray is on this side, then what happens? After refraction it will pass like this. Okay, so this is in the case of what? Concave lenses. Okay, so it is given here, a ray of light passing through a principal focus after refraction from a convex lens will emerge parallel to the principal axis. Okay, and this is also shown in figure 10.14. A and B. A is in the case of convex lenses and B is for concave lenses. Okay, so a ray of light appearing to meet at the principal focus of a concave lens, what happens? After refraction will emerge parallel to the principal axis. Okay, and what is the third one? This is the second rule. Okay, this is the second rule. And what is the third one? Third one is symbol, right? So as like that of mirrors, here also a ray of light passing through the optical center. That means optical center is where? Here, right? So a light ray passing through the optical center, after refraction it will go like that. But it will go without any change. That means a ray of light passing through the principal center of the lens will emerge without any deviation. This is also given in the figure 10.15. Okay. So these are the three rules we should know to draw a ray diagram. Okay. So what are the rules? Yeah, first one, when the light ray incident on a lens parallel to the principal axis, then what happens? The refracted ray emerges through principal focus. Okay. And second one, the light ray passing through the principal focus after refraction emerge parallel to the principal axis. And the third one, what is the third one? The light ray passing through the optical center, it will refracted without any deviation. Okay. So that are the three rules. And using these, we can plot the ray diagrams, or we can draw the ray diagrams. Okay. So we can look into that. So keep in mind these all three rules. Okay. So first one, we can draw in the case of a convex lens. Okay. Now we have to consider, or we have to draw the ray diagrams for objects placed at different positions, right? Okay, so first scenario, we can look into the object is placed at infinity. Okay. So first we can consider a convex lens. Okay. Now this is a convex lens, and here there is a center, that is optical center, and this is the principal axis, right? So we can take two incident rays, and the refracted where the refracted ray meets or intersect, there will be the image formed, right? So the object is somewhere at infinity. Okay. So the first line we can consider what? The ray that coming from the object passes through the optical center, right? And it will refract without any deviation, right? And one more thing here, this is O, and here will be the F1, and here, suppose here will be the F2, right? That the two principal foci. Okay. So when a light ray incident through the principal focus, then what happens after refraction? What happens? They emerge parallel to the principal axis. So this is the point where they intersect each other. So here the image formed, that is the image formed at F2, the principal focus on the other side, right? So when the object is at infinity, where the image formed at F2, that is the principal focus on the other side. And what is the nature? Yeah, it is an inverted image, and it is also a real inverted image that having smaller size than that of the object, right? So it is a diminished image. Okay, so what are the features of the image? The image formed at F2, right? And it is a real inverted and diminished image, right? Diminished in size. That means a point-sized image is formed when the object is placed at infinity, right? So that is the first case, and we have to know what is the second case. So that is the first case. Okay. So you should draw the figure as well as you should write the characteristics of the image formed, right? So after knowing all the scenarios or all the positions where the object placed, we can look into the table that is given in 10.4, the nature, position and relative size of the image formed by convex lens for various positions are given in that table, right? So that is the conclusion of these things. Okay, so you have to draw each of these ray diagrams. Okay, so that is the first one. Object is placed at infinity. And what is the second case? Second case, it is what? The object is placed beyond 2f1. So object is at beyond 2f1. 2f1 means there, we know there is a principal focus and double of that principal focus is 2f1, right? So beyond 2f1. So we can draw what? A convex lens, and also we know there is an optical center. This is the principal axis. Suppose this is f1 and this is f2, and here this length, that is, this is 2f1, right? Okay, 2f1. So the object is placed beyond 2f1. Okay, so suppose here our object is placed, right? And we know we have to draw lines like this. This is the incident ray, and what happens? The incident ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction pass through the principal focus, right? So this is the refracted ray. And one more thing, when the light ray passes through this principal focus, what happens? After refraction, it will emerge like that, is emerge parallel to the principal axis. So the intersection of this point will give the position of image. So here the image is formed, right? So here the image is formed. So what is the position of the image? Okay, so here this f2, here also there will be a2 f2, right? Okay, so the image formed is in between f2 and 2f2, right? And what is the nature of this image? Yeah, it is real and inverted image. Okay, real and inverted image, and it is formed in between f2 and 2f2, right? And what is the size of that image? Yeah, it should be diminished in size. It is these ray diagrams I just draw roughly. So you may see this is of similar size, right? So but actually the size of this image should be lesser than that of object, right? So the image should be diminished, and it's a real, the nature of the image is real, inverted and diminished in size. And where it is formed? It is formed in between, it is formed between f2 and 2f2, right? So the image formed in between f2 and 2f2, right? So this is the second case. Okay, so the next scenario, the third one, where the object is placed at, object is at 2f1. Okay, object is at 2f1. Okay, so we can draw a convex lens, and here will be the optical center. This is the principal axis, right? Okay, so here f1, here f2 and 2f2, and here 2f1. Okay, so the object is placed at 2f1. Okay, so we have to consider two incident rays. That is, suppose one ray is incident like this, and what happened after refraction? It will pass through the principal focus, right? So it will pass through the principal focus on the other side. That is, this is the refracted ray. Okay, so next one we have to consider another ray, that is the ray passing through the center of this lens, that means optical center. So where the image formed, this is the intersection of these two lines or two refracted rays. So here the image formed. That means image formed at F2, 2F2, right? The image formed at 2F2. So the image formed at 2F2, right? And the object is at F2F1, the image is formed where at 2F2. And what is the size of the image? Yeah, it is, this is also, this we draw this rough figure so that we cannot identify by looking this, right? So actually the image formed should have the same size of that of object, right? So the image has the similar size or comparable size, right? And what are the other natures of this image? It is real and inverted, right? Real and inverted image of similar size or same size, right? Okay, so this is the third case. So third case, when object is placed at 2F1, the image is formed at 2F2 and is of same size. And what is the nature? What is the nature? It is real and inverted image, right? And what is the next one? The fourth one, where the object is placed, where object is placed between F1 and 2F1. Okay, so here F1 and 2F1. So we can draw from here also. You should draw all the figures separately, right? All the ray diagrams separately. Okay. So I can draw here. Okay. So where the object is located between F1 and 2F1. So suppose it may be here. Okay, in between F1 and 2F1. So two rays, we have to consider two rays. One is parallel to principal axis and it will where the F2 and 2F2. It will pass through F2. And one more thing, we have to draw one other ray that will pass like this. Okay, so where the image formed beyond 2F2, right? Okay, so the image formed beyond 2F2. So what is the size of this image formed? This image formed is of enlarged size. That means larger size than that of object. So it is a real and inverted image, and the size of image is higher than that of object. So that is enlarged image. Enlarged. And where it is formed? It is formed beyond 2F2, right? So that is the fourth case. That is object is in between where 2F1 and F1. Okay, so the image formed beyond 2F2 and the size of the image is greater than that of object and it is a real and inverted image, right? So that is the fourth case. And another one is what? The object is at focus F1. Okay, the fifth one at F1. So what will happen at F1 means we can see what will happen. That is the fifth case. What is the object is at F1, right? That is the object here comes near to the lens, right? So the F1, this is F1, O, F2 and 2F2. right? So we can draw two diagrams like this and also, right? So where the image will not meet, so not here, that means these rays will meet somewhere at infinity, right? So we can say the image formed at infinity, right? So these lines go like parallel to each other, right? So we can see from here the image formed will be at infinity, right? So that is the image will be formed at infinity, right? And what is the nature? What will be the nature? Yeah, it will be inverted. That is the image formed below the principal axis, right? So it should be an inverted image, and it should be an inverted and a real image. So the real and inverted image will be formed. Okay. So what is the size of image? That is size of the image. It will be a highly enlarged, or we can say infinitely large or highly enlarged image will be formed in this case. That means when object is at f1, the image will be formed at infinity, and it is a real inverted image and of highly enlarged size, right? So that is the fifth case. And sixth case, the object is placed in between f1 and optical center. So it is somewhat, this is the optical center, so it is more near to the center, right? So we can draw in between f1 and O. So we can draw, it is here O and here f1. This is the object, and here f2 to f2, like that. Okay, so we can draw two lines. Okay, this is parallel to principal axis will pass through f2, and what happen when a light ray passes through the optical center, what happens? It will refract without any deviation. So these lines also, these lines diverges each other, right? So it will not meet anywhere below this principal axis, right? So we can extend these two rays in the backward direction, and you can see it meets somewhere here. Okay, that means in the case of object placed between f1 and O, then the image formed will be a virtual and erect image, and where it formed on the others, it forms on the other side of the lens. That is when the object and image are on the same side, right? On the same side of the lens. Okay, so it will be a virtual and erect image, and it is enlarged in size. That of object, it is highly enlarged, right? So the image formed will be erect, virtual and erect, and it is on the same side of the lens as that of the object. Object and image will be formed on the same side of the lens. Okay, so that is the ray diagrams for convex lens, where the object is placed in different positions, right? Okay, so you should draw all these diagrams, and you should write the features of the image formed, or you can see, or after drawing each of these situations, that means these sixth from 1 to 6 position of object, you should draw the figures, and after that you can conclude like in your textbooks 178, page number 178, it is given table 10.4. Okay, so after drawing this you can conclude like that. Okay, so you should draw the table also. Okay, so that's about the image formation by ray diagrams in the case of convex lenses. So we can draw the ray diagram for concave lenses in the next class. Okay, so I conclude today's video and saying you should draw the ray diagrams in your notebook. Okay. Okay, then we can meet in the next class. Till then, take care and goodbye. Thank you.